If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. And if you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You know you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there, yeah. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, you can count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, yes. We welcome you this morning to Unity Spiritual Center as we gather, whether you are virtually holding this space or wherever you are on this journey and in your life. I welcome you this morning as we recognize that we are a world awakening, learning that we are so interconnected, that the truth of our being, as Rumi said, that we are the universe in a static motion, is true as we touch the lives around us, that we are a part of holding that space and connecting each other and reminding all of those around us and around this globe that we are the universe in a static motion. I'm Reverend Lisa Davis here as spiritual leader, the minister here at Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, and I just welcome you this morning to a remembering, a cellular remembering of the truth of who we are and how we are interwoven with all of humanity. We're going to begin in just a moment in prayer, and I invite you, wherever your journey has been, whatever your eyes have seen or contemplated, the thoughts you've had this week that are outside of the truth of your being, I just invite you to move them within, to move them into the breath, into the sacred remembering that as a part of this quantum field, every one of us is vitalized by this divine life. Let's begin this service in prayer. Mother, Father God, infinite Spirit, we open to the truth of our being, a larger understanding. so that the events around us that are happening in the world around us, we recognize and remember they are not the truth of who we are. Instead, they are simply part of this journey, this sacred journey, every step we take, and that the journey is the one that happens within, with the love that we are, the life that we are, the pure potentiality of spirit that celebrates itself as us every day. We open to that celebration of life, of the journey, right where we are. And we allow the love that moves through our being to move forth from us around this globe, to every heart, every being, whether they're standing in line for a Super Bowl or standing in line to get food or to get what they need or wherever they are in between. All of humanity honoring each other, recognizing that the sacred being that they are is enough this day. And together we are interbeing, connecting heart to heart, humanity as one. For this opportunity to gather in this knowing and to hold it as our part in this quantum field. We are so blessed this day, and so it is. Amen. And we are thrilled to have you with us this morning. We want to share a little bit of what's happening. So Beth is coming up just to let us enjoy life and what it is you're going to share.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Oh, dear. Okay.
We're doing this right at the top. Yesterday was somebody's birthday. We did not want to let that go unnoticed. So we love you very much. We're glad you were born. We are grateful you are here. So happy birthday, Lisa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll celebrate her more when we get back, which is coming, and I'm excited to share that news with you as well. So first off, we honored Lisa this morning. I also want to honor the garden team and the maintenance team who were here yesterday and did a beautiful job inside and out. We could not do it without them. We thank them. At this time, they're putting a QR code up on your TV screen. And if you would like to know what's going on here, get our emailed newsletter every week. You can click on that QR link, take a picture of it, and sign up for that, and we will get you on that list. Everything is on that weekly newsletter and on the website, so please go there for all of your information. I want to acknowledge there's been some frustration with the live stream in the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie. It is not only frustrating to you, our virtual family who we love, but it's been very frustrating for us too. And Andy and I were here yesterday with Comcast. We got the speed up, but we can't get on Facebook. So the link is on the YouTube. It'll be on Facebook later, but thank you for flowing with us during these times. We are coming back in person Sunday, March the 6th. We're very, very thrilled to announce this homecoming moment for our spiritual family. It's going to be a beautiful day. We have a special coffee and connection planned. You are not going to want to miss this. So come and join us. And we're 1 week into our Finding Joy series, our winter series, and our spirit groups have filled up very quickly. We have some space left in the Sunday group, which meets online right now, 1 p.m. on Zoom. So the link to register for that is online. Please go there. And if you're having trouble with any of that, you can always call the center. We're here Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4, and we're happy to help you with that. Also want to mention, if you haven't picked up that book of joy yet that we are working with, that is also available in the Golden Key bookstore. And you can call and make an appointment to come by and pick up your copy. So we have a class that's starting at the end of February. Actually, it's starting on February the 23rd, running through March the 23rd. This is a class led by civil rights activist Karen Trusty. And to learn more about the American history that you weren't taught in school, the class will explore the white attitudes and beliefs starting in 1619 that have led to the continual unfair and unjust treatment of Black Americans. While this history is difficult, these beliefs and intolerances still remain in white people's psyches. and they must be brought up to sharp awareness in order for us to root them out. We will also learn about white heroes who stood up against racial injustice and oppression throughout American history. Registration is open until Sunday, February the 20th. Like I said, it's going to run for 5 weeks, 6:30 to 8:30, Wednesday evenings. The cost is $80. And I think, do you want to say something about holding the dichotomy of these two ideas at the same time of joy and the hard stuff?
Well, I just happen to think, I just want to share with you, the work that Karen Trusty's done here is so powerful. She's teaching part-time also at PSU. She's looking at some of these ideas of just how do we hold both joy, which is a part of the expansion of the understanding of the love that we are, and the history that hurts, that's hard. It actually allows us to expand into joy because we have to acknowledge what's there, and it will open us to the ideas that allow us to move further. And they're there. It's not easy, but it is a sacred path. And I'll tell you, I don't know about you, but how much of the last 2 years has been easy? So why don't we just simply open to these ideas that we are going to open to one way or another? They're there, they're expanding as us, in us, and I just invite you to look at these ideas that we're sharing there.
Very good. Yes. So do sign up for that. You know, we've been through the white fragility classes. We did the CAST book study, and this is a great third piece for that. So make sure you check that out in the newsletter, okay? Next Saturday, I want to mention the women's group is going to be meeting here in person to do their vision board project. And that's going to be downstairs. They're going to be masked and socially distanced, but they wanted to do that and meet here in person. The men's group will also be meeting next week at 9 a.m., but they're going to do so virtually, so you can join them on Zoom. Bill Thorbeck has sent out some information about that, and if you'd like to join the group and you're not currently a part of it, you can always call the office. We'll get you linked up. We have rescheduled all of the classes and workshops that were going to happen in January, February. We've moved them to March. All those new dates are in the newsletter, so you can find them there. I want to mention the annual meeting for Unity Spiritual Center of Portland is going to be happening on Sunday, March the 20th, following the service. We're going to go downstairs. It's actually going to be a working meeting. So we need you here. We need your ideas and your input. We've got exciting news to share with you financially and all that good stuff. So make sure you mark that on your calendar. And if you're interested in serving with this great group of board members that we currently have, we invite you to take that into your prayer consciousness and consider that. We have applications here at the church, or we can email you one. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, thank you. And as we are so blessed with all that's happening here and the awakening that is happening, I want to take a moment and welcome any of you who are tuning in for the first time. If Unity Spiritual Center is new for you, we welcome you into this family, into this awakening consciousness that is moving throughout humanity. If you like what you hear today throughout the service, I invite you to be a part of this community. We will be coming back in person and continuing this virtual family, and so it allows us to extend that reach and that understanding. And I just invite you to be a part of that anchoring. If this community doesn't work for you, I would encourage that you find a place that serves you, that reminds you of who you are and moves you out into this sacred journey of life. So we are grateful to have you here. And we are going to stand and sing. It's so good to have you here, Lori and Eric. Okay. Wait, are you going to? Oh, that's right. We're moving. Wait a minute. Aren't we we're doing a congregational song?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going to lead it from right here. Thank You for This Day by Karen Drecker. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. this healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Oh, yes. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. What an opportunity to celebrate. And we have sunshine. We have sunshine. Thank you, God. We are so blessed. And in just a moment, we're going to prepare ourselves for meditation. Susie Ellen will be doing our meditation. I'm so thrilled with that. But just the idea of the remembering, a cellular remembering that happens when we spend time in the silence. So as the music starts here, I just invite you to open to that sacred within you, that light, that love, that presence.
So just taking a moment to be right here, right now. Whatever has gone before in your day, whatever is to come next, just set that aside and move into this beautiful moment, this moment of loving presence where the universe speaks to us through our calm and open mind. So I invite you to close your eyes and move inside to that place within you, that beautiful opening, that place where this presence within you dwells right here and right now, inviting the stillness through the breath in and out, and in and out, just breathing, allowing the breath to take you deep within to that quiet place where the infinite within you resides. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath. Feel your heart open, awake, and ready to receive the blessings of the quiet. What a blessing it is to spend time in the quiet, in the presence of the own indwelling Spirit within each one of us. So moving gently from this still place back into this room, back into this day, back into the message that we will receive and the music and the heart that we share one with another in this community. Slowly, slowly coming back, taking a breath, and being present right here and right now to the rest of your day.
I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. Oh, there's nothing I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Ooh. ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. Oh, there's nothing, nothing I wouldn't do. I'd go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, I go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. What happens when we're able to share who we are and the love that we have with the world around us? Now, sometimes, especially when we've been in our own houses and on quarantine and all of the journey of the last couple years, sometimes that world of ours gets pretty small. But what if it's a larger world? What if the beauty of who we are is invited to touch the world around us in a myriad of ways, even sometimes when it doesn't feel like the place we want to share our love, when it doesn't feel like the place that they're not who we want to have in our world, or this isn't the way I want it, or this isn't the way I want it. We're in the second week of an 8-week program. This is a big undertaking using this book of joy, which was from a meeting with the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And actually, I want to share with you the way this book is broken down. By the way, it is brilliant. If you haven't spent some time with it, the first 2 weeks we're talking about the nature of joy. What is this idea that we're looking at? Then the next 3 weeks we're looking at obstacles to joy. Now, that's not a very easy way to look at it, but there are absolute obstacles that we put up in our lives that if we're not aware of them, we just shut down. And then the next 3 weeks are the pillars to joy. What builds joy in our lives? Because it is something that we are a part of facilitating and creating and allowing to move through us. So I want to spend this last day with this idea of the nature of joy. I want to remind us that joy is something that is already within our DNA. It is an awareness of the presence of the infinite, that we belong in it, that we're a part of it, that it's moving through us, and that we're a part of this unfolding of a planet. It is not something that happens when everything in my life, or let me put it this way. Joy happens on the exterior when things are going perfectly. Anybody experience that? It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. But the joy we're talking about is an awareness of the presence of the universe, the infinite spirit. You can call it God, you can call it whatever name. It's an awareness that comes through us at every moment in our lives. And we have the ability to walk with that understanding. You can look at the Dalai Lama, you can look at Desmond Tutu, and you can say, whoa, it's always there. That's something we can learn from, and it is very, very possible to know this in our own hearts and minds. It comes from spiritual practice, it comes from letting go, it comes from a myriad of things, but who we are already has that within us. We've just a lot of times closed it down. And one of the first ways that we can understand the nature of joy is this idea of it never shuts itself off. It doesn't depend on what our outer circumstances are. And that is a powerful understanding, because that means when my life is working perfectly, I actually have the same potential. And please, I am not trying in any way to make it more difficult on somebody who's going through a tough time. I have the same potential to feel held and loved, and that spirit of life, universal life that flows through me. Yesterday was a wonderful day for me. It was my birthday. I got to sit out in the sun at a local restaurant in Milwaukee, with my family and people I love. I got to sit in the sun and celebrate. And at the same time, for me, it was a day I was holding a space for a dear friend of mine, Reverend Ada Igwe. And the services that were all over Nigeria for her husband, Reverend Udo Igwe, who had passed away, were yesterday also. And I looked at what I was holding and seeing, and I kept thinking of her and that experience she goes through. And I know Ada. She finds joy in all things. And some of the pictures that I saw, I know the great sadness. I've been there. In some of the ways, I feel that sadness and the beauty that's there when we honor a life. And I looked at these two pieces and I thought, are they so far apart? Or is it just, can we find God? Can we find life, divine life, the universal energy in all of it? Your life may feel like it's over here right now, or it may feel like it's over here right now. And it's not about what we're experiencing. Instead, it's about what we allow ourselves to feel. Because the outer experience doesn't determine the inner experience. Now, I bet every one of us watching and in this space have heard life is lived from the inside out. We know it. But how do we begin to allow ourselves to breathe it in, to be bathed in that understanding? One of the things I know about the time right now is that we're in what they call a liminal period. That means we're not here, which is where we've been, and we are not yet here, where we are going, which is an expansion of our social systems, of our understanding, of our work with humanity. We are in this in-between time. It says liminal means relating to a transitional or initial stage of a process, occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or a threshold. So we're just a little bit in between everything. And not only that, but we've done a lot of it by ourselves in quarantine. We are in a liminal period. There is this movement and this change that is happening, but there is no less God or the life energy, the universal movement of spirit that is present at this time. It's just that somewhere we can't see it. So what we've done is we've said, wait a minute, this outer I don't like, so this inner can't experience the joy. It's tough to live in the unknown. But the journey, this sacred journey we're on in life, all of it is a movement of spirit and is calling us in the midst of all the liminality we have in this moment in our life. Whether you think your life is set or it's not set or anywhere in between, there is a movement of spirit that desires to come through you, to express itself. It never stops. We just kind of say, nope, not allowed here, not allowed here. Wait a minute, this is happening. And so I'd invite you, first of all, wherever you are, to recognize that the presence and power of universal life, this energy, the quantum field that we live in, is here right now in this space, right where you are. The infinite is. And it's a breath. We're a part of it. I'd invite you to open to the realization that every morning when you wake up and take a breath, and this came from a very wise woman this week, she said, I just spread my arms and know I'm one with the field of infinite potentiality showing through me this day. But boy, it can be easy to look at, that's not working, that's not working, that's not working. How can I say that? It's all there. And so our job is to know that. And then to recognize, I've been reading Ken Wilber this week. Somehow I just was immersed in some of his stuff. And if you all have read any of his, first of all, it's not easy to just read. You can't just read. I mean, his theory of everything is over 800 pages. And I think I'd have to have a professor with me to go through it and look at it. But what I love and what I kept looking at this week was the idea that he believes that there is, he said, I have to have a theory for everything. I have to understand it. And as a present day philosopher, even with all the health challenges and the things that he's gone on, he has created a theory of everything. It's called integral theory, and it works in 4 quadrants. And basically, he can put all of our social systems, all of humanity, every religion, everything that happens in our individual lives, our collective lives, our global lives, all of it fits into this theory of everything. And actually, it makes a lot of sense. And it shows the expansion that happens in all of these quadrants. And the first one is our individual experience, the inner experience. And the second one is the external experience. And so we're looking at this and we're like, whoa, wait a minute. Is it internal, where I'm knowing the presence and power, or am I relying on external? And so I just invite you to come back in. But his idea is that we are living in wholeness. Every part of this universe is expanding now, not as fast as most of us would like. It's not, we might think, no, it's not going in the right direction. It's all going in the right direction. In fact, his view when somebody said, what about right now, what's happening? He said, well, in America, we're into the stage called pluralism, which means many opposing views. Anybody seen a few of those? And he said, so if we hold on and we can know the wholeness of what's happening, we'll move through. But it's hard not to take the actual what's happening externally right now and say, what do I do? Now, part of that, of this quadrant, has to do with the individual and the actions. So it doesn't mean it's not calling us to take action. Every moment in our lives is inviting us into action. It's inviting us into what it is that we're navigating through. So it does not mean we're not a part of, and in that fourth quadrant, the collective, that has to do with social systems, and we realize there's a breaking down on all of that right now. And so our interior experience with our individual actions are calling us to create something larger. And in order to do that, I believe part of what we have to do is get through the pain of our individual experience and saying, this is all I can handle. I can't go any further. Boy, that comes up all the time. We're not wrong. We're not bad. But I believe as we continue to breathe and we open to something larger, I believe we can see a wholeness that we didn't see before. Yesterday, I was just holding Ada, and I've been conversing, talking with her, and I've been praying with her and working to support her in all the ways I can. I realized that there was a wholeness and a beauty, because I've been through some of what she's been through, and I remember some of those times and those feelings and where it took me, and realizing there's a wholeness in all of it. I don't know how to explain it. It's there with every wedding I do. It's there with every celebration of life. It's there with all of it. We have an opportunity in those liminal periods, the in-between times, to see a wholeness that we may not have seen. And so wherever you're in between, I would invite you to call forth the vision of the infinite that's within you. And just begin to trust and walk in that knowing that this isn't too much for you. It's the expansion and the movement that's happening through you. And some of it is really, really tough. One of the first things that Desmond Tutu, what they talk about, is this idea of suffering. And Desmond Tutu says it's necessary. In fact, he even went as far as somebody said, well, what about Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison? And Desmond Tutu said, yes. And that's what's prepared him to lead us out of apartheid. And remember, Desmond Tutu was on the outside during apartheid, watching the burials, doing many of the funerals and the things of the people who had the courage to put their foot out and to say, not here anymore. It's not enough here. And so he had a very interesting view. And he said it's a necessary thing. Now, I'm not going to go there. I hold the space absolutely that in the absolute world, suffering is not necessary. We do not have to go through it. And a lot of times I create it. Anybody else doing that right now in their lives? We create it. But I know this, up until now, in my human experience, boy, do I go there a lot. And if I will allow it to be what it is, and to trust that not only will I move through it, but the I that I am, the universe that's moving and expanding, will come out wiser, deeper, more loving, and more able to feel the joy of the universe. I have to say, I feel that every day after some of the experiences that have been in my life. And I don't know why. And I continue to say it's not necessary. But up until now, just like James O.D. says, stress is an evolutionary driver. And often it's necessary for our evolution. So if we're in the middle of that, what would happen if we just simply said, here I am, infinite. I'm going through it. I'm going to keep as much awareness as I can. We use the spiritual practices that we have of sitting in the silence, of using our minds to say, there's more here. Beginning to have the practices that say God is present here, life is present here, love is present here. There's so much more. You know, Max Perot was, and I'm still watching the Olympics and absolutely loving it. In fact, I'm having a tough time because the Super Bowl is taking up all those hours from the Olympics. And I know that's very different than my brother who's at the Super Bowl. I'm very excited about it. But Max Perot was one of the snowboarding, he's doing slope style. And in the 2018 Olympics, he won the silver. He's from Canada. And he was so excited about his medal and where he was going. And later that year, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He's 27 years old. They didn't actually know if he would survive. And what is fascinating is, and he missed the the rest of 2018, all of 2019 season. 2020, he came back, but it was a rough one. He ended up winning, did he win the gold? I can't even tell you. Yes, he won the gold medal. I just knew he won a medal. I was so excited to hear his story. But what fascinated the reporters is they said, "You've told people you are glad you went through cancer." And he said, "I am. Who I am is," and how did he, I want to say how he said it. He said he was grateful for it. He said that he had taken so much of his life for granted, that he's a better person for not taking, he said, "I don't take the people around me for granted." He said his mind is stronger, and he said, "I even believe my body's stronger. Even though they say after all these rounds of chemotherapy, your body would be weaker," he said, "Mine's stronger. It knows more, it does more." And he said, "I am grateful for that." So he was able to realize who he was. He said his friends have changed, his lifestyle has changed, so much have changed. But so can we allow in the teachings? Because I believe the gold medal is won when we allow the teachings in. Because then we get to express who we are. And in whatever category that is, then we have an ability to see something more and something larger. One of the ways that we get out of times when we're troubled and we don't know what to do and we're suffering, both Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama talk about the fact, then turn your eyes to others. How are you touching the world? How is it that, and of course, in the book by, Hari is his last name, Lost Connections. It's the best book on depression I've ever read or been a part of. It is amazing because his whole thing is that when we think we're depressed, and he goes through the medication and some of the ideas with it, we just have lost some of the connections that remind us we're one with humanity. So much of the time when we think, I can't think outside this box, I just invite you to breathe. Do your practice. Do what's important to you. Hold the space. Take the time. Cry. Do all the things you need to do. And where am I a part of the world? Where can I touch another life? What can I do to see something more? Because the ability to approach with joy what's happening in our lives can be easy at one point, and it's not always in others. But if we will do it, we become a part of the changing of the planet. I've been loving some of the stories I'm reading with Black History Month and looking at these beings who changed our world. One of them that I was listening to on StoryCorps, and so you can hear it or you can read the transcript, Teresa Burrows, who she just wanted her story to be shared. And what she did was in I want to say the 1940s, the early 1940s, she was a Black woman in Alabama. And it was not an easy time, but she wanted to vote, and she couldn't get registered to vote. So she and her minister went twice a month, which was the only time they were open to vote, stood in line, which often they were the only two in line because people had given up or it was dangerous, and did whatever test they gave them. She said sometimes they said, how many black jelly beans are in there? And it didn't matter what she answered that was wrong. There were other times when they had her recite the Constitution, and she said the person she was reciting it to didn't even know the Constitution. But she went the first Monday and the first Monday and the third Monday of every single month. She showed up, took time off, went there. And eventually, they actually did register both her and her minister because the guy said, I am so tired of seeing you here. I don't want to, and he didn't say it that nicely, but I just thought, how beautiful. But it took people in their lives that it's not a gold medal thing. Instead, it's a I'm worthy thing. she found the worthiness that she was to show up in her world and to say, this is what I do. Every one of us right now is being asked to find the truth of our being and to let it expand. It may just be a little way. It may just be a little way, and I have to laugh with my daughters. Sometimes it is a little way. But let me tell you, in fact, last night Lauren said, not as messy as the night before, was it, when you came home? And I said, well, that's true. Every cord in the house, I think, had been taken out because they were trying to figure out how to use the switch with the TV. So all of my printers and all the other cables were all, I said, it wasn't exactly as messy, but this, and she goes, nope, we did good. And I said, you know what? You did. You did. It might not be what I would order, but thank you, God, it's not, because we didn't come to live life in this perfect box. Instead, we came to expand, to express, to realize that the presence and power, the vitalizing energy of the universe lives within us. It moves through us, it guides us, and it is always present. So this week, I just invite you to approach your week with that inner joy that says yes to who we are, to our link to humanity, no matter how much it squeezes us to learn, and to this life experience. Thank you. All right, and we are going to take this time of giving. And it's a time of generosity is really what it is. The universe knows when we have enough to give, when we say, yes, I have enough to give, whatever level that is. It's the idea so this is our time of generosity, of recognizing that this gratitude that we have for life and for who we are comes through us as enough to give. So if you were taught to live your life in this thing of, I don't have enough to give, there isn't enough here, there isn't enough here, part of shifting that on a cellular level is beginning to move into this idea of just literally gratitude and generosity. We're just simply here for a time of gratitude. So I would invite you, in just a moment, they're going to put a screen up that shows some of the ways you can give to this community. And I'm so grateful for all of you who do that, because it's such an important part of who we are, being able to move throughout this time, this fascinating time in humanity, and to be able to share the ideas that we know are so important. So you can look on there. You can do it through, texting Unity of Portland, and it has the number. You can go to our website. You can do it by check, all of these different ways. But all of it is just simply saying, thank you, Infinite Spirit. So I'm going to say our blessing, and then I'd invite you to affirm it with me. You can say it all along any way you want, but it's divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Let's affirm that together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen.
The left and right, floods, fires, dark nights, traffic jams and headaches, makes me want to run away from everything that I don't know and all the things I can't control. Then I hear a voice say, yeah, lean into it. You got to lean tight chest, clenched fist, reaching for a higher me, wondering if I'll ever see all the things I'm longing for. It's like pushing on a bolted door. Then I hear that voice say, yeah, lean into it. You got to lean into it. Let it melt away. away. Grab hold of a great big sunbeam and ride it through the rain. Oh, lean into it. You got to lean into it. Don't you know you got to lean into it. Lean into it. Lean into it. Lean into it.
Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, lean into it. The universe is inviting us to lean in right now. Thank you, Lori and Eric, for just sharing your gifts. What a blessing. What a great, great blessing. And we are going to take that time now to really anchor that peace begins with us. So as we sing, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me," just remember there are always awakenings happening within our heart and our mind as we expand our awareness. So if you feel like it, stand and just hold out your hands to the rest of the universe, just remembering, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. On earth and let it begin with me.
Oh yes, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let's close with this unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we are so blessed, and so it is. Amen. Have a love-filled week.